home be anywhere I plant my feet if they grow connections to its earth, to its core. That's all I got. That's tight. Thank you.
Is making fun of your Spanish when you make a grammatical mistake. Is caldo de res cooking on the stove slow. The aroma has a way of sewing itself into the kitchen walls.
Home is danger, because there's always a thought of losing it. Home is insecurity because it's just so familiar. Home is 414 with friends that are 262. Home is not familiar to those who have a different home. The only thing in common about our homes is that we have them. Home is little girls not knowing what street lights look like, and curfews where I come from aren't for discipline but for safety. Home is peaceful, or letting violent things become peaceful so you can call it home. Home is always on your toes, but learning to like it there. Home is an under 18 prison and an over 18 heaven that we're constantly trying to get back to. At home, I'm just a little too poetic and too non-conformist and non-assimilationist and nappy-headed down the street, but I just want my roots. Home is every post-traumatic stress disorder, memory, and assholes that really count as abuse. And it's home, but hell, it's all you know.
Well, we addressed the prompt that y'all gave us in the beginning, like what's a danger to your home, your community, and some of us really who addressed it talked about how they hope that they can defend their family, protect their family, and we made sure that we expanded the definition of family, not just to like biological family, but your like even your closest friends, like people that really, you know what I'm saying, that's really your friends that you got love for, and just anybody who needs help, because we're all one family in reality. And we also kind of went into how there's a certain mindset, like everybody else was saying, there's a certain mindset that people have to be able to look around in their community and in their home and look at their neighbors and be like, yo, we all in the same situation. Why don't we come together, unify, consolidate our resources, pull our knowledge together, what we have, and make something happen for ourselves, because the government don't give a fuck about poor people. Never did, never will, because that's what America was built off of.
Home is systematic, institutional, instructional, purposeful. Everything you are, everywhere you go, everything you do is intentional. You are a part of their plan. And you feel the shit happening, but you focus on family, food, friends, and we're all okay with it. And the reason I said that because so like there's a lot of gun violence and stuff, and it's like when you go to Milwaukee, you can feel the segregation. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it, and it's just there. And Madison is one of those places where it's all in everything you do and everything that you are. Like it's in your house, it's in your school, it's in your government buildings, it's in the colleges, it's in the sidewalks. They know what you're doing, and it's crazy. And sometimes you see it, and when you do, it's like, what? That's happening. And if you ever seen articles, and I remember I saw them servicing not too long ago, and I didn't believe it, because Madison is one of those places where everything's cool. There is not that much gun violence. It's perfectly fine. You see people of color, kind of, but then you realize you really don't. And it's the worst place in the country to be of color. The worst place. And I don't know, like, let that sink in. And, like, I don't think about it. People are like, oh, Wisconsin, this is not that bad. Or, there's nothing wrong with Wisconsin. And I'm like, no, there's not. Until I realized that, like, the likelihood of me graduating is slim to none. And the only fact that I probably will is because I do have a home with a mom and a family, but then my friends do too, and they probably won't. And at the university up the street, that is known for doing all types of beautiful stuff that I probably can't get into. And, you know, it's hard to think that. But it's the same thing, just like different ways. And they're hiding it here, where I'm from, and then they're just pushing it in your face where she's from. But it's so there, and it scares the shit out of me.
And just a little bit more on what she's sharing, because I also live in Madison. It's when she says that it's the worst place for a person of color to live, that's not just an opinion. Like, it is statistically reported. HuffPost has reported on it, down to the New York Times. Like people of color are leaving Madison in waves. Like whole families are just like, you know what, we're going to Chicago, forget this. So yeah.
And one thing I realized, like, gun violence is like a really huge thing in Milwaukee, but like, because to me, I'm there and that's what I feel, that's what I see, but
he is from California, and he says that he experiences it just as much as I do. So just to know that, like, that's a thing, and it's not just in this one place. Like, it's not just places people say it is. Like, oh yeah, Milwaukee's dangerous and Harlem's dangerous. Like, no, this is a problem that's going on everywhere. I also learned what a coney was. They don't have those in Milwaukee. Apparently, it's a
Why
coney.
hot dog, right?
What's the
Like,
color?
I
mean, we gotta be testing.
Coney Island, bro.
how you live without a coney?
My town is known pretty much for the bad things, the Mudville, Flatlanders, Killer Cali, Murder Valley, the gangland, and it's hard for me to see. It's hard for me to see my town like that. And the one thing, like, when I think of home, I think of one street in Stockton, 720 East Clay Street, out in the south. That's my dad's house, and that was my home for a long time, and it was taken from me. My dad's incarcerated now, but I was talking to a couple of the people in my group, and we were talking about, like, no matter what happens in our lives, we don't use that as an excuse to do bad. Like, we don't use that as an excuse to, like, fuck up and anything like that. Like, I talk to my dad every day, and I'm telling him about the stuff I'm doing here, like the poetry and stuff. He's like, he called me right the day before I came here. He said that no matter what happens, he's always gonna love me, and that he supports me through whatever I do. And like a lot of people don't have that. I cherish what I have. Home is with my father. Home is with my baby brother. Right now, the house I'm in, it's just a house. I don't see it as a home. It's like a jail cell. And Stockton, I see it as the yard. I just got a home pass. I'm here in Philly. I get to get away for once. But home is self-expression. Home is something where you can go, just get something off your chest and just feel completely relaxed. A place you can feel safe. And talking to my dad, I get a lot of writing prompts, and with his thoughts, I came up with something that, like, pretty much qualifies to here, if I can spit it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I am not perfect, nor will I never will be. But I am a proud man, and let my every flaw define me. I don't fear judgment. 'Cause my scars, once wounds cut deep with the artist's touch, drew vast amounts of blood. Heartache is a pain forever present in my life. Judgment will be the last thing that hurts me. I'm about honesty. But I will never judge a book by its cover. I don't read much, but I would love to take the time to thoroughly visualize the lovely contents that build a storyline. It might not always be beautiful, but it's somebody else's reality.
There it is.
Joker from Stockton.
What?
Joker.
Joker.
Stockton.
Oh, I saw her in the back.
Appreciate it.